Hello and welcome. Man, I just tried recording this and it went badly. I got incoherent. I got incoherent talking about this book. And that's because the book is non-linear. It feels like I'm watching a TV show that's just decided, hey, we're going to randomly insert a flashback. Like, that can work, but it can also be confusing. Like, there's no indication at the time first start reading something that it's a flashback. So we've got a super rich dude here taking the subway for whatever reason, or as they like to call it there in England, the tube, which sounds way less fun than subway, because at least the subway makes you think sandwich. While he's on the tube, he gets harassed by a police detective. Like, I'm going to take you down. That symbol, it's everywhere, man. That's his corporation symbol. It is all over the place. He has remolded London to a world, everybody be like him. This was a fun bit. Now, what to do tonight? We're like, who? Am I right? Am I right? Yeah. So he goes to meet like a business associate, Oscar or something or other, and bam, police raid. And I'm not quite sure what's going on here. You know, he's I don't really know. Like, is this now? Like, is that a gun? What gun? Sorry, old friend. Then he throws his briefcase. There's a bang, and then the cops rush in. And he sits down to smoke. Like, are we looking at two different times here? The lighting in the room kind of suggests that. Like, real bright here. When the cops come in, it's real dark. I don't understand this chain of events. And look how dark it gets here. Like, it's definitely nighttime mere seconds later. I don't get it. It's dramatic. It's super dramatic. Look at this composition. Like, even though these are rectangular panels and they're not at crazy angles, this is still some pretty bold composition. Strong use of the shadows. Good stuff. I found that whole sequence kind of confusing. Like, what happened? It doesn't really matter, though. Our CEO protagonist in jail. Yeah, means jail. Right there. Oh boy, I'm still like trying to wrap my head around this book. Sadly, this issue is totally crinked. Got it. It sucks, but hey, it's been like a year since I got it. There's that detective interrogating our protagonist, Mr. Sharp, man who changed the world, the man who brought free cosmetic surgery to the world. And we just jump around like as soon as something's going on, we jump away from it. In fact, we're jumping kind of at the same time, like on the same page, just side by side panels that are at two different points in time. And I don't know that it really works. Like, it's cool looking, but it only adds to the confusion because we don't have any context for, you know, why some chess nerds are beating the guy up. Like, are these even the same characters right here? Are those our protagonists? I don't actually know. I guess so because it says Sharp right here, but why? Then there's the girl he was talking to at the very beginning. At least I think it's that girl. Her, Luna, this guy's daughter. Then in issue 3, I'm left wondering, is this nameless man, find him, is this nameless man this guy who's selling a fake passport to the Oscar character that the other guy that got arrested was Sharp, is also conspiring against him? I don't know if this is the same character. You'd think they'd have to be in like modern storytelling because you don't introduce a character and they never mention them again. You got to weave them back into the plot and make him an intricate part of it. But is that the same guy? The lighting, is that why his hair looks different? Like, I can't tell because in the close up, beard's a different color. Same guy? I don't know. I think it is. I don't really know. But there's just stuff like that where it's I'm having trouble telling people apart. Like, maybe that's on me. And like, who's she? Sitting on the bench here next to the cop. That I don't know who that is. Like, it's really frustrating. I like the art because sometimes the art's positively brilliant. Brilliant, like you saw in that arrest scene. It's shadows. This is pretty good too. At the start of chapter issue 3, it's a change in the dinner table scene. This is probably over the course of a year or two, something like that. You see it? Isn't that brilliant? Brightness, and then the world darkens. Her, because it's her that's her. Like her whole world is darkened. Then we see her immediately, like reflecting at herself in the mirror, and her little brother comes to comfort her. And then I'm left wondering, like, is that brother? Is that Mr. Sharp as a kid? Oh, it's frustrating. Hey, look what I was saying about look at that symbol, right? So there's Luna. Yeah, that's got to be the same girl, right? It's all the same girl. Just oh yeah, I guess that makes sense. Cause hold on, she's calling Justin, right? Justin, that's his name, right? Did I just say his name was Justin Sharp, or did it call him Sharp? Just like double check. Yeah, it's Justin Sharp. So he's Justin. Then she comes out of the tube. Like that's why the cops went. Okay, so now it makes sense. It only took me like 3 or 4 reads to figure out that sequence stuff across 2 books. No, she calls him. They go meet up at a bar. Then she takes him under the bar to get a room to hide in, and right in the middle of that flashback sequence where we're looking at different logos this guy's coming up with. And another guy, the Oscar guy, is hanging out at a bar to get a fake passport. What bar that is, I don't know. Doesn't matter. This girl, and he suddenly looks a lot younger, even though the hey. He suddenly looks a lot younger, even though this seems to still be taking place in the present. Like, I don't understand why he's suddenly DH. He looks like he's 12 or 14 here. Then if I go like back up over here, he looks like he's in his 20s. That's a little bit wildly inconsistent with the art, and it doesn't really work for me. From Dad, don't worry, I'll be home soon. Wait, this is her dad? Then who was the? I can't even. You gotta slow down with scene transitions and jumping wildly from one place to another. Like, you gotta slow down a little bit. It's paced like a runaway freight train, and you're strapped to the front of it, and you're just watching. You're just watching. You're right above the cow catcher, and boy, there are cows on the tracks, and you're gonna hit them. You're hoping that the cows aren't gonna flip up and smash you against the front of the train. It goes so fast, you don't really get a time to breathe. Like, it looks like a decompressed comic. And if you sit down and you see all these panels with blank space and stuff, it feels like a decompressed comic. But in the course of the 60 pages or whatever here for these 3 issues, I've been introduced to a plethora of characters. I've seen lots of random, completely different interactions between them. I'm left wondering if various characters are the same as other characters. Like, I can't breathe. This thing doesn't let you breathe. And the downside to all of this, is this is 3 issues. I don't know how many issues this is supposed to run, but I need to read issue 4 now because I got hooked. One book that tried to do this kind of writing, I call this like TV style writing. It's like modern television where everything has to be all twisted and convoluted together. And sometimes it's done right, like Better Call Saul. Sometimes it's done wrong, like Breaking Bad. Hmm. Isn't that funny? Like this, because I picked those examples because if you've seen Breaking Bad season like 5 or even season 4, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know exactly what I'm talking about. People are making dumb decisions for the sake of drama. When it's done right, when things are woven together nicely into a tapestry, then you end up with Breaking Bad, where the bad decisions make sense, where the crazy things make sense, where everything makes sense because it's part of a whole. At least so far, Better Call Saul, been like that. This story's like that. It just everything ties together, everything weaves together. The art is sometimes okay, sometimes it's just okay. Now, like here, these very early panels from issue 1, they don't do anything for me. They do absolutely nothing for me. In fact, I'm pretty sure her character like has changed design over the course of the book because she looks very different here. In fact, I didn't realize this was the same character until the second time I was flipping the book while I was trying to record the first attempt at this review. That's Luna. See, she's got the thing. But she doesn't look anything like she does later. So the art inconsistencies like that kill it. And then sometimes get sequences that make great use of what's there. Like, look at this background. It's not super detailed or nothing, right? Look at this use of color. We go from kind of a neutral da 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 da, right? To her menacing him. So the red comes onto the page to show danger and malice. It's very effective. A very effective way to do it. I like the way it looks. I like Coronary. I think this is pretty good. I just wish I was reading all of it at once and not having to wait between issues because as a Kickstarter, let's go over to the PC. Let me pull up my monitor here. So Coronary Volume 1, issues 1 through 4. So I'm probably going to end up backing here at the $12 tier and getting issue 4 in physical. You want to check out the whole thing. It's a very interesting story. Crime, drama. You know, our protagonist is on the run, but he's not acting like most fugitives. Like, I don't understand quite what he's doing. I really don't. 13 tips on how to date your surgeon. Wow. Magazines, yo. I guess that's the cover for the trade, huh? That's a really cool cover. Cover for issue 4. I don't like that as much as this. I think this is a cover. Puzzle piece thing is kind of interesting because it shows other stuff going on in his life. You know, danger, cops, helicopters. Pretty interesting. Pretty interesting stuff. Pretty interesting. God, that's so generic to say. It's interesting, but it is. I'm left wanting this. I don't know how many issues there are supposed to be. Coronary. Presumably, there's going to be more than just volume 1 here, since you can't have volume. I guess you could have volume 1 without a volume 2, but we just call it like Coronary Complete Edition if there wasn't any more. Gosh, I'm left just like I'm probably gonna back this, and I think turn the camera back on so I can gesture at you. And I think it's pretty interesting, and you might just dig it if you're interested in those kind of is it really science fiction? Those kind of alternate scenarios where the world's a little different, or if you're interested in like a taut, fast-paced, like kind of crime story full of Britishisms. Oh, which reminds me, I found a typo issue 3. So I think it was issue 3. Let me try real quick to find it. It was kind of egregious. Yeah, here it is. When the dude is given Oscar here a fake passport. Did you know how hard is was to print these? Oof, oof, brutal. And my only real complaints with Coronary all have to do with the fact that I find it hard to follow along the story as it jumps from here to here to here to here to here to here, and I'm trying to figure out who are these characters. Like, am I right in who these like who that kid was, the little boy, like that was Mr. Sharp as a kid. I don't know. It'd be nice if the story would tell me. In a television show, it's usually made much more clear because you have like sound cue stuff to help indicate who someone is. Like at the dinner table, would just have somebody casually mention somebody's name, and then it would all become apparent if that was. And it may be that I'm completely wrong, and the boy doesn't really matter, and in fact, it's the girl that matters in that scene. The girl isn't, uh, or is the Luna character. I don't know. You know, I don't know. The art style kind of bounces around a little bit and makes the appearance of the characters sometimes inconsistent with those same people. That's the negative. That is absolutely the negative. Positive is I think it's really interesting. I think there's a ton of depth there, and I think I want to reread it. And any story that makes you go, boy, I want to reread it is probably a pretty good story. And maybe you should just go reread the thing. I don't know. What I do know is I will hopefully see you all next time. Till then, take care of yourselves and check out this Kickstarter. Let me flip back over to that. Boop. There we go. Check it out. Just kind of scroll down the whole page here, just in case there's more stuff to catch your eye. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. That absolutely reminds me. I forgot my coronary swag. Letter. Little stickers. Little mini print. That's all the stuff I got with my when I backed the previous Kickstarter for the first 3 issues. And you're in the Chicago area. I don't know if it's still true, but I went into a graham cracker there in one of the suburbs on kind of the southeast side. I'm blanking on which of the graham crackers it was. I went to like 4 graham crackers comics that day, but they had a couple issues of Coronary sitting on a shelf, and I remember being kind of annoyed because the fact that like issue 2, I think it was like issue 2 was sitting there, and I hadn't gotten my Kickstarter books yet. So I was like, I wanna read it, but I was waiting on my books from Kickstarter. Anyway, you all take care of yourselves. I'm really outsies. Bye bye.